23andMe story. So basically, some state attorney generals are basically asking you to contact the company directly, ask that the company delete your genetic information, because in a bankruptcy proceeding, you don't know who's going to be the purchaser of that IP, right? And you don't want it falling into wrong hands. I personally don't, right? So if that is you there and you did send in your genetic information to 23andMe, go ahead and possibly do that if that's important to you. So I know that the what's it called? The state attorney general in California was basically saying the same thing. So in an open letter to customers, 23andMe said that there will be no changes to how it stores, manages, and protects customer data. It will be required to comply with all applicable laws with respect to the treatment of customer data, the company went on to say. And I saw some of you guys in the chat saying, didn't Google buy 23andMe? No, I don't think that that is the case. Otherwise, they wouldn't be going through bankruptcy proceedings, which they currently are. So obviously not anything to celebrate when a company goes bankrupt like this, but yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know if that is you there, maybe you want to have that genetic information taken off. And we all know, especially with what do they call this, genetic genealogy, where you're if you send in your information to say 23andMe, and then your cousin commits an offense, and they have his DNA, but they don't have his name, but they have your DNA, they'll be able to know that you guys are related, and they'll be able to like, oh yeah, that's Joseph's family member.
Wow.
Let's basically look at Joseph's family tree, figure out who he's related to, so we can narrow the pool of suspects. So all of a sudden, you know, you don't do anything, but your cousin killed somebody or did some robbery, and your cousin gets booked because of you. Yeah, Joseph, Katina man, right?
So we'll be sending in that stuff anytime.
Yeah, no, I told my cousin sent it in too to called Ancestry.com. Like, they start cussing him out. Like, none of us can kill anybody now.
You're exposed
right?
now.
Like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, what the hell, Yusuf? Like,
that's funny, man. Because remember, what was that? Remember that guy, Stephen Avery? Remember Stephen Avery? What was that? It was the guy. He was apparently falsely accused, and it was just when the time of when that movie came out. What was it called again, Adara? Making a Murderer, right? So yeah. So this guy gave up his DNA, a lot of weird stuff going on in the case, and then pretty much just been in jail ever since. Maybe I don't know what people think about that.
Killer.
The Golden
State Killer, that the guy who, well, he was kind of known as the rapist first. I think it was in San Francisco. They didn't call him the San Francisco rapist. I don't know. First, he was the Vasilia stalker. He was breaking in to people's homes, basically stealing petty stuff. Then he upgraded that offense to sexual assault, and then that got upgraded to murder, and it was like incremental, Joseph. And they had a different name because they didn't know that was the same person.
It was the same guy.
Yeah, it was literally the same guy.
Graduating in the life of crime.
There you go. And they're like, for sure, this guy didn't stop killing. People don't stop killing. He's in jail or he's dead. And they were certain of that. Boy, were they wrong. Because he was sitting there like just in his neighborhood doing his thing. Bang on Ray Joseph. Very happy with this trade here. RAY got in on that pullback into the volume weighted average price. Where did I get in? I got 68. Just took it out there at 90. Right up into that 194 now. HOD RAY. Good trade. But let me tell you, this is a bamboozler because it's got range per candle. That's a little unsettling. Trade this one carefully. We're also doing real well here on NAC. NAK still didn't get the print at 20s. That's a little frustrating, despite the fact that we keep showing 20s over here on the ask side of things. Let's see if we get that print. We're long 14s. It did double bottom into that 13 area, 12 area. Let's see if that double bottom is foreshadowing any higher move. I've got some decent shares on this, so I'll just take some a beak wetter here at 19s, and we'll see if that 20 level can print. Adara. The story of the journalist who solved the Golden State Killer case is also very fascinating. She was married to a B-list comedian and passed away before the book was published. I didn't actually know that, Adara.
It's really fascinating stuff, Sharif.
It's very interesting. I've been following this case, like the Golden State Killer case, for years and years before they even caught him. And when they caught him, I just couldn't believe what was happening because it was like I was like convinced like they were that either he was in jail or dead, because apparently when you do this kind of crime, you can't just stop. It becomes like a compulsion. I think they're wrong on that. They really need to revisit that theory because he literally did stop for, I don't know, however, 25 years, 30 years, which is, according to them, very unlikely. So anyway, NAK, that's the only trade we've got on right now. We're long 14s. I'm still waiting for that beak wetter at 20s. MLGO, though, Joseph, this one did do a pullback. So we were talking about how this one didn't have a green candle since 1125. Well, sorry, a red candle. So we got our first red candle at 1220. That is the breach of 1050 up into that 1073. And now we're trying to hold on to the 10 exponential. The last time on the day, on MLGO, we had a 2-candle pullback. We rocketed up. I'm talking about these bad boys over here. 1115, 1120, and then you have a candle of indecision at 1125. And off that low of the 1125 candle to the high of the day, we moved up 65% from that pullback into that high. Okay? So let's not write this one off super quick. We've seen this story before where it does a couple of candle pullback on the 5 and then rockets up. I'm not saying it's going to do it again, but it's just about putting the statistical probability on your side with trading. That's what trading is all about, baby. We're going to keep an eye on MLGO, see if we can weasel another entry on that bad boy. It's been hanging out at the 10 exponential here for about 5 minutes or so. Let's see if it does it a little while longer, Joseph.
Yeah, good luck there, my friend. So yeah, Bitcoin looking like it wants to break through some support levels here, guys. So we'll have to keep an eye out on this. More tariff news. So yeah. Just a week of silence would be nice, but yeah, you're not going to get that around these neck of the woods. But yeah, you can see that we're starting to break through this pivot here, guys, to the downside. So I'm going to suspect we are above the cam range too, so we can come back into it. So just be wary of that. From a daily standpoint, it's similar to Amazon and some of these tech names. We are sitting above this resistance zone here. And now climbing higher, so that's a positive sign. I do think we can recover in Bitcoin, but we are going to hear some more tariff news with Adara, guys.
We do have some more tariff stuff. I just want to kind of summarize the comments we have coming through, not only now from Trump, but also from Commerce Secretary Lutnick. So he's saying that upon the launch of these reciprocal tariffs or other tariffs on April 2nd, they're also going to be launching the External Revenue Service. This is basically Donald Trump and his administration's plan to create income from the tariffs that they're basically posting there. So keep an eye on that. Also, Donald Trump making some more comments here on these cars and pharma tariffs that he mentioned. He said that the car tariff will come shortly and the pharma tariff will come, quote, at some point. So it looks like more near-term car tariff and then slightly larger term, these pharma tariffs. If I see anything else, I will let you guys know promptly. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you for that one. Yeah, JCB Sports, man. I've been talking about Hood for the past couple of weeks here, and I'm really glad that I picked up this name. I mentioned just from their previous fourth quarter results, the numbers were too fantastic in order for it to take a 40 or 50% hit from the top here, guys. So from peak to trough, 46%, and now we're in at the 40s. So I'm really happy about this trade. I like Hood for the foreseeable future. I've actually added it to the long-term account. Yeah, because I wanted to get into the name, yeah, because 700% in crypto transactions, 90% year over year in options activity. You're seeing more participants start to join the platform. It's just like beats all around the corner, and that's what you want to see in companies that are kind of growing. And it took a beating with the GameStop era and et cetera, but when you start putting up numbers like that, I think it's a good long-term play, and that's why I like being involved in Hooded. Put in a nice intraday here session as well, too, guys. Holding the volume weighted average price to a T, nice, possible, I wouldn't call this a double top, but you can see that we are constructing a lower high, but holding this level really, really well. So the stock is cooperating, and that's what you want to see, especially in some of these names here, Sheree.
All right, NAC, we just broke 20, got the print at 20, it went to 22s. It didn't print though, because that's kind of been characteristic of NAC. If it doesn't cross the ask, you're not going to get the print. There's just way too much size posted on the ask for you to get the print. At least that's what I've perceived so far. Great double bottom at 13s. We're long 14s. Let's see if this one can take out the high of the day. We're looking at that $1.28. I don't want to take out too much too quickly. We've got some posted at 22s. We'll post some at 24s, a little bit above that level. MLGO, holding 9. This is a beautiful hold for now. Underline that for now. It's a double bottom into 9. Both of these 5-minute candles defend that $9 level to the penny. Let me give you the exact numbers. The first candle low, 903. The second, 9. So there is definitely a buyer in and around 9. Whether this one makes a new high above the previous 5-minute candle or not, we'll have to wait and see. So to make a new 5-minute candle will make a new high, we got to print above 970. We're zigging and zagging with 940 right now. So it's a good look with that 1073 high of the day. Let's see if it gives up 9. If it doesn't, I don't absolutely mind getting back into this one. We can weasel into this one, no problem, quick as you like. JCB Sports, $10 super chat, dropping the cash. Thanks to your boy, Joseph Wilson. Thanks, Joseph. Appreciate you. That's all class right there from your boy, JCB Sports, man. All class right there. So we're going to shout them out. Yes, nice. We got the print at 22s on NAK. Now that current candle high is 22. So I thought it was 23. No. So we did get the print despite the fact it didn't cross. Now we're waiting at 24s. So we're going to post up above 24. We're going to wait at 26. And then we're going to wait at 28, which is the high of the day. So we'll look to wet the beak there at the high of the day. RAY, though, giving up the ghost. It's now below VWAP. It hasn't taken out that 160 area consolidation. I'm talking about this area right here where we previously had resistance and then we dropped into support. It's right there, guys. 161, the low of this candle. This one looks like it is losing the bid right now. So these ones are around for a good time, not a long time. Let's see if it can recover. The volume weighted average price on my chart is 172. And it has respected VWAP for the most part. I'm talking about RAY. Let's have a look. I mean, even though the range per candle is quite prohibitive and not really to my liking, for the most part, aside from the current candle that we're in, every single print on this monster did defend VWAP or the 10 exponential, but so sparsely traded is RAY that the moving averages and VWAP looking like zigzag lines rather than smoothed out curve lines. That's not something you see all that often on these small cap gappers. They're often quite curved. And so seeing them zigzag like this is a bit of I don't know, an attention getter, an eye opener here on Ray. So we'll keep an eye out on that to see if it means anything. Otherwise, it's all good there. Still keeping an eye on MLGO. It is now a 3-candle hold up above that $9 area and obviously well above the volume weighted average price, which, believe it or not, guys, is at 6 1/3. The price action is at 9 1/3 and VWAP's at 6 1/3. The reason I mention that is because sometimes you try to gauge whether something is extended or not to the high side, and you wait for that deeper pullback. It's not always the case. Some things just keep going. They don't need deeper pullbacks, but just keeping an eye on it. So, yeah, MLGO seems to be the one that I want to weasel back into if it does set up in the right way. It's a 3-candle setup now above that $9 area. Still dealing with that NAC trade, and then going to keep an eye out on that, obviously. Mara as well. I was involved in that $14 long on Mara, and I didn't have another dip trade on 14 to account for a pop-up. So this one did go all the way up into 14 1/4, a couple of shekels below 14 1/4, comes back in, and you get a wick off that 14. It tested it. 14 was a resistance level. Does it continue to hold above 14? Well, looking at this area over here, it does look like it is dropping down there. Joseph, what is going on?
Yeah, we got the start.
Okay, I see some triangles there, boy.
Yeah, man, we're getting Google working here finally. Added into this position here, guys. Not a horrible look, but it took me multiple attempts, and I talked about the 3-strike rule. So we worked for one. We got on base there, stopped out break even, then strike out 1, strike out 2, and then now I'm sitting. I'm like, okay, I got a tough decision at the plate here, but then we added to this, and now it seems to be working out. But it is really spready and not moving too much. So nice add here, and then add right here, guys, and then just a continuous climb higher. But if it comes to my break even at this point, then I'll just have to cut the trade, unfortunately. But yeah, it took a couple of attempts in order to get the ball rolling. That tariff news from Donald came out and sent the market to the downside. Let's see if Google, who is lagging its peers, wants to get the ball rolling and start climbing higher. It looks like it wants to, so we'll have to see if we're starting starting to rotate into some of the into this name here. So yeah, good look there on Google. I went over the Amazon thesis. I went over the CAM structure. If there's any names, if you guys want me to take a gander at the options chain for you guys and say, hey, what do we see from an open interest standpoint throughout the week, and we can kind of gauge a range and what may happen in the S&P and in the NASDAQ, guys. And now that I'm talking about it, you don't got to ask me to do it. I'm just going to do it anyways. So let's take a look at the cues. We're doing it live. Let's take a look at the cues here, guys, to see what we got going on for this week's expiration cycle, which I believe ends on the 20. Oh no, it does not. The 31st. The first. No, that's not right. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right, we'll take this one, March 28th. Yes, that's what we want. So yeah, guys, let's see what we got going on. 490, 15,000 open contracts. That's not too hefty, but it's looking like there is some overhead resistance there, guys. We traded to 490.74 and then now rejecting that level. So 15K at 490 with that rejection displaying itself, that can be a level to keep an eye out on. And one thing that I want to note is that because we had quad witching last Friday and then all those contracts being expired, that kind of gives the underlying assets free room to climb higher. After that, all those contracts have now dissolved, gone to options contract. They're all gone. We won't see them again. And now you just have a little bit of space for underlyings to climb in. And that's where you can see, hey, we're trading higher in Amazon, Tesla, NVDA as well too. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. 490, that rejection's coming into play. If there's anything else you want us to go over, I'll be more than happy to do so. But right now we need to focus on is Google. If we, is that focus? I don't know. No one really knows Sean Desmond, I guess. I don't even think that's a Sean Desmond. That's my buddy's cousin, eh?
This girl, she got me shook with her pretty brown eyes.
Yeah, that's my buddy's cousin.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, he's in Toronto, so
he's a Toronto guy.
Beyond the realm of
I can't remember his
possibility,
brother's name.
He was a singer too.
Yeah, they both had like a couple
Danny
good tracks.
Fernandez.
Is that Danny Fernandez? Yeah, there you go.
I always wondered why the one dude's last name is Fernandez, the other one's Desmond.
Yeah, I don't know. I figure
one's a stage name. I'm assuming,
right? I'm sure one of them must be. But yeah, my buddy's cousins. Yeah. And I told the dare. I know you wouldn't know who this is, but I'm at Farm Boy the other day.
I love Farm.
And I come out of the elevator and I took a second look at this individual, and it's this Toronto rapper named Baka Not Nice. It's like Drake's friend. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar makes fun of him. So he's like a popular top 5. You know what's crazy about top 5?
Sorry, bro.
I used to see him in the nightclub.
Did you actually see this guy?
Yo, me and him used to talk. I swear to God. And Andrew Wiggins too. Like every Caravan a year, I would see.
You're kidding.
I swear to God. Yeah. I forget the name of the club now. It changed to Toy Box, but it was like a hot Monday night spot, and I would always see Andrew Wiggins there.
No way.
And we would always be like, "Yo, what's up, bro?"
That's crazy.
Yeah. Before he was, and then 1 year after he signed that big contract with Minnesota, he comes in with like this massive Timberwolf diamond chain and everything like that. Yeah, so cool, that's funny. It was funny seeing all those guys. But yeah, Baka Not Nice. I seen at the local grocery store, Toronto rapper.
Hilarious.
Yeah, but here we go, guys. Yeah, continuing to climb higher in Google. We're getting this breakout that we wanted, so not a bad look on that front, ladies and gents. I told you that it was lagging, and now it seems that it wants to climb higher. Let's see if we can test this high a day. Well, actually, that's quite a ways away. We'll pull up on the higher time frame. I do believe we can break 167.80 here. It's going to take some volume and momentum, but you can see this outlying signature, brother.
All right, I'm keeping an eye on MLGO because it looks like it's going to break out again, guys. It's doing that rounding, curling effect. Here it is. I'm going to cover trade desk for Jameson because he's quite polite, and I totally forgot last time, but this is kind of the same look. My goodness, it's almost the same amount of candles pullback, and then the same look, the curling effect, and the higher lows and the higher highs. It literally is doing the same thing again. MLGO, I don't know if this is trying to lure you in, only to send this one down to VWAP at 650. I don't know, man, but it is literally copying exactly the pullback from that 11:15 time slot to when we broke out again at around 11:30 there. So good look right now. But trade desk, TTD. Jameson was asking me about this. I like this, Jameson. On the day, the higher lows seem to be in play over here. Every time we dip in, buyers are picking it up at a little bit of a higher level. I was going to say flat top break, but I don't think that would be accurate. It does seem like an upward channel. So TTD on the day, what is it up? Allow me a moment here. 3 1/3%. It does seem to have a bit of selling at that 5 1/3, but anything off, I would say the lower end of this, or sorry, the bottom trend line there on the channel, that's a good buy. We'll see. I mean, it depends on whether it holds this trend or not, but the trend is there. It seems like it is an upward channel. It's up 3 1/3. Obviously, looking at the daily chart, you may not be as exuberant, punching back up because off that December high and the area lows, we're down 62%. I mean, since December. That is ugly. Very ugly. But if you're looking at it from an intraday perspective, it is a good look, at least for now. Upward channel. Let me know how that goes for you, my friend. Good look by you on that one. I'm still all eyes on MLGO, though, man, because it's just putting in higher lows, and it's doing that curling effect. So I think this is possibly another long, maybe take out 10 3/4. I'm getting in. And I don't mind dollar cost averaging into 9. We're going to hold small shares here, and then I don't mind picking up some dip trades. So the previous or the current candle low is 925. The previous candle low is 920. So possibly a little bit off there. I mean, if it does give you that move down, let's go ahead and set some lofty price or beak wetters over here in case this one pops up and we get a quick spike. Otherwise, I don't mind defending it into about that 9 1/4 area with small size over here. Good look and good rounding effect on that one. 2 New York cents. Take a look at Kava on the hourly chart. It has a belly bottom and curving up. Is it time for a long here to a possible 110 again? That's actually interesting. I've never heard about the belly bottom price pattern. Have you, Joseph?
No, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, well, there's time for everything over here. So we're gonna just put in a possible dip trade on our friend MLGO, and then we're gonna look at Kava when we get back from Adara at the big desk.
Just be aware here, keep an eye on DJT getting a nice little pop here. We're seeing, I guess, from Pro Terminal that Donald Trump's World Liberty is deploying here a $1 or USD1 stablecoin on the BNB chain source. So apparently a coin here has been deployed by the Trump family's World Liberty Financial. DJT did spike to days high, pulling back a little bit now, guys. Keep an eye on that ticker. Back to you.
Back up.
Donald.
Yeah, Donald's, he's an interesting guy.
It's definitely interesting now adding something
he's
to
like
the NBA chain.
The main focus of our election. It's insane. We're not even talking about our own economy, our own issues of, interprovincial trade or anything. The main issue for Canadians, according to some polls, is not the economy. I kind of conflate Donald Trump and the economy to be one, but they actually had them as two separate ones. Donald Trump is the number one with like 25% or more of more Canadians actually think that is the number one issue for the election. And then number two is the economy, which to me is a little crazy. But again, Adara, I think that they're one and the same, because Donald Trump is affecting the Canadian economy. And I think that's why people are interested in him. In case you're wondering what we're talking about, we had an election called yesterday in this country. We will be deciding on a new government come April 28th. We haven't had one since, I believe, October of 21. It was during COVID. Was it 21 or 22? 21.
20.
Pretty sure it was 21.
Yeah, it was after COVID, right? Because he wanted to introduce.
That's right, because he had just sent out the checks,
yeah, exactly.
and he was trying to get reelected on the back of the checks. I remember that.
Yeah.
In any event, let's have a look at Kava for 2 New York cents. So his question was, take a look at the hourly. Sure, let's have a look at the hourly. Trying to keep my eye as well on this MLGO trade, but we've got some small share size, so it's all good. Yeah, this is a good look here. A good curl back up. Is this a previous area low? The $75 area, kind of a bizarre area to hold up. Let's have a look. Is 75 a previous area low? Yes, it is. Okay, so that was the yen, the unwind of the yen carry trade, I believe, in early August. We did hold up there, so there is support at this level from prior occasions. Expect resistance though I would say, at 100 before you see 110. I see what you're looking at there for the 110 area. That was the area low over here during mid-January to basically to mid-December. So we did hold that level for a month. But before we can get to 110 to New York cents, look at that triple top at that 100. So I think that probably comes back into play, seeing as it is likely psychological resistance as well. I mean, who knows? But that's a good look by you. I do like that, my man. Shout out to you. Let me know how many prints you take up on that bad boy right there. Now, we're moving on up here on MLGO. Here we go again. 80 showing up. I'm waiting at 88s. Can we get the print to the high side? No. So there is a seller right now at 80, so I won't take the print there quite yet because I'm holding baby size and there's really no point in taking it there. I'd rather get the cost basis addition at 40s. We'll see what we get. We won't get upset, but it is a several candle red setup now, or several candle top. Wow, this is losing the bid really quick here. Any break of 9, I'm gone. So just did dip into single 9s, right back into that 9 1/3. If it loses 9, I'm out on this MLGO trade. Let's see if it can pop back up. It is technically still holding above 9, but 9 1/3 is the level. I don't know if we recover from this. This looks ugly because this did technically make the new 5-minute candle make a new low. So this could be a bit of a trap here on MLGO. Let's find out here. Joseph, what do you got?
I like how you said, see if we can recover from this, because it just led me to the Tiger King quote where he's like, oh, I can never financially recover from this, even though it's not funny.
Yeah. I never got into that show.
Joe Exotic, you never liked Joe Exotic, man?
No.
He was like the hardest Halloween costume for a couple years there.
Problems.
Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, guys, here we go in Google, holding on to still some of this position. Let's see if we can get this crack of the high a day. We're being patient. RGTI coming in, Bitcoin coming into the volume weighted average price. But there was a large spike in Tesla's volume here, guys, as we cracked through that high a day, that HOD. Holding this base, but then you can see that volume really step in. But now we have this indecision print that I think we need to keep an eye out just in case the market wants to pull back. So you can use this as your risk parameter if you believe that we're going to break through some of these support levels. I know Katina Man hit the short on it last week as well on Friday, but I was looking for the short on. I just wasn't patient enough. I was using TSLS as my vehicle, so long TSLS. So I'm synthetically short Tesla. So yeah, let's see if that holds up. This could be a potential rejection candle of these levels, and then we head a little bit lower. I also want to point out we're running into support on Google. So you can see that we're kind of hesitating and chopping sideways where we're currently sitting. So nice double bottom here, some indecision prints, but now we're running into this intraday base, and now that was once support, and now it's acting as resistance here, guys. So in order for us to break through, you know what I'm going to say, we need that volume and we need that momentum to kick in order for us to head into that 168 and that higher day level. It can definitely happen. Google can really get the ball rolling. Speaking of, like, from a percentage metric, it's one of the worst beaten up, but I just referred to its correlation with Apple and how important those two companies are to one another. 24%. But there is some really good indecision here on the daily, right? So you can see that we didn't turn around right away, but you get this buying pressure at these lows right around that 25% mark, and then now we gap up like the other Mag 7 and continue to just slowly climb higher. The price action isn't that clean, but you can see that there's going to be some next resistance that we're going to possibly run into, and I think that's that 1%, that 170 level. So we'll mark that out and see how price reacts around 170. And it's definitely not going to be today, but I wouldn't say definitely, but it might not be today. What do you got going on there, man? You're dancing up a storm over there. Let's go.
I can't dance, but I'm gyrating.
Didn't you used to
break dance?
Break. So you can dance, thanks.
That's completely different. That's more athletic than actual.
It got dance in it. It got dance in the name, right?
All right, guys, we're in here at MLGO. We popped up, took that 988 print. Here we go again. We're zigging, we're zagging. We're in at 945. It's showing me 960 now. I don't know how I feel about this trade, Joseph. We keep making lower highs. I don't know if that's the move right now. So I'm going to look to extract a little bit of profit here while we're in the money, because it feels like this one, the best trade is kind of behind this one. That's what it feels like to me. So if we can pop back up and get the print, I'm just going to flatten out here. I'm going to take it out here. I don't feel comfortable with this trade. It is too sideways for my liking right now. MLGO, this is not how it was trading earlier. So it does look like there is a seller of note in and around 980. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4 candle flat top. Now, we've seen just this pattern in isolation. Forget about everything that came before it. This pattern in isolation could be a bullish pattern. We have higher lows with that flat top. We know that to be a flat top breakout candidate, not for sure. So if we do get that flat top breakout, then that confirms it. We can weasel in at that time. But I just wanted to take my profits and get the hell out of there with MLGO. Awfully scary. This one, especially trading it in the illiquid time of the day. The volume, as you just mentioned, really has dropped off the cliff there. Lower lows, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, all the way down. The volume is dropping off. And that isn't really a glowing endorsement to go long, okay? So maybe you can build your position possibly into 9. I think that could be interesting, but this chart pattern is a little too risque for me. So we're out of there. NAK, there's an obvious seller at 122. You don't need to be a chartered market technician to see that we've been rejecting 122 since 1235. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minute candles, all of which have rejected that 122 print. Nothing even at the 123, 122 and a half, not even a mid print. So there is a notable seller here at $1.22, and you can see some decent size there, some good lottage at that $1.22, but it's not moving. So we'll see exactly what's going on there. Someone was yelling about KDLY, and we were in this one earlier. We traded it positively, but it lost VWAP. So it kind of, we don't trade these ones that drop below VWAP, but it is trying to work its way back above VWAP right now, and I really do mean trying. Just weaseled in right into that 240 area, the exact area where VWAP is, and it's having trouble. So if this one can curl back above that white line on your chart and stay above there, so a closing print above VWAP, not just a quick wick, and then I'd move right back down, we'll get involved with this one. It still has its place up on the side chart. Still up 57, 58%, so a lot of people will have eyes on it, but the volume as well kind of dropped off a cliff, much in the same way that MLGO did, but you can kind of see a couple of outlying candles here that could possibly start curling that volume to the high side. Again, KDLY is the one I'm talking about. Sorry, I didn't have the ticker in there. KDLY. And this is another possible pattern here is a head and shoulders pattern preceded by the uptrend, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. It doesn't have to be that way, but it's something to be on the lookout for. It doesn't mean it's going to manifest certainly or anything like that. So KDLY will lose its spot if it continues to trade below VWAP. Bovin, Holo moving up slowly, but need to break $1. Another former runner that we know very well about, HOLO. It used to be a monster. It had a great day on Friday. Look at that, Bovin. This one was really breaking out there right at 12:30. It looks like 12:35. This one got its news catalyst, and from the consolidation area low to the area high, we were up 75% in about half an hour or so on Friday. Very much an inside day today, Bovin. The Friday high above us, the Friday low below us. We're kind of in a bit of a tight range. The good news about Holo is it's not giving up the entire move that it made on Friday. The bad news is we're still below the high, and we are below the pre-market high, Bovin. Like, look at that 5 a.m. print, takes us about $1.14. So I'm not going to be trading this until and if it clears that $1.14. Those are just my rules for the small cap gappers. Won't break them. So let's see what else we got over here. IonQ, one of the ones that we mentioned right at the start of the show. This one was just very directional and didn't have an opportunity to get into this one. It's pulling back a little bit here, and it could very well touch the VWAP area, which is not that far above 25. 25 could be psychological support. Add to that the volume weighted average price pullback that algos use, big money uses, traders, intraday traders use. So you could have some buying coming in at around VWAP. I'm going to keep my eye on IONQ in and around that VWAP area. Good look, no doubt about it. Back to MLGO, let's just take a quick look at this one. So the higher low pattern continues here on MLGO. So if we were kind of foreshadowing a possible flat top break through that 975 area, it's been made, I don't want to say more likely because that's not the right word, but what it is doing is continuing to put in that higher low with that flat top. That's what we call an ascending wedge. Let's see if it actually manifests or not. MLGO definitely in focus today, Joseph.
Yeah, nice look there, my friend. Yeah, if we can pull up my screen here real quick. Yeah, so that's just what we had going on. 4 trades on Google, 2 for 4, not too bad, still slightly positive on the name. So you can see that when the trade is working out, I'm adding. Unfortunately, we didn't get the continuation, and then we just get stopped out, break even. So that's trade 1, completely out. Trade 2 here as well, got out. And trade 3, after that, after Donald was talking, looking for the momentum to continue, and then just looked like it wanted to tank. But you can see, if I were to be holding on to these positions, I would have to sit all the way through this, and then if that was my entry, then only at that point I'm break even. Instead, I just get out, hop in right here again at a better price, add to where my original entries are, and then you just get that climb, but then we get stopped out there. So that's those trades there, guys. Yeah. So that's the game plan. I'm going to be a little bit more patient. Some names that I like are starting to come into levels that I'm attracted to here. Like iBit, it is starting to form some lower highs, so we need to take that into account as well here, guys. But I think just because the name is strong, still up around 5% here, 4.9 to be exact, roughly. But I like this for the potential test of the high a day. Let's see what we got going on from the 5-minute time frame. So we are holding VWAP really steady here, guys, and hopefully we can hold on to these levels. If we break lower, then yeah, if the market breaks lower, I should say, I can say, hey, maybe Bitcoin will start to follow. But what we'll do is we'll look at the options chain for a potential base. See, there's nothing crazy. That 490, I think, was the play in the rejection area on the Qs, because we traded up to 490.71, and then we had the inability to crack and hold that level. But as for on the put side, there's nothing standoutish. What we got for this week is about 485 with 1,000 open contracts, but that's just not enough to be like, hey, that's really standing out and a level that we should pay attention to. But yeah, let's see what we got going on for today, which is the 24th. Again, 485. Are we going to go into those levels? I don't think so. And at 490, there's still about 4,000, so not as much as the weekly there, guys. So yeah, nothing that says that is eye-popping for me. Sharif went to the washroom. Yeah, Stevenson, we're going to do the playmaker here. We're going to wait for Sharif to get back, and then maybe we can get a good entry price there. Well, I guess it is 104. I don't like doing it without him. But yeah, we can start the process of that. Let me get rid of this here, and let's see what we got going on. The playmaker poll. Oh, not Shein. I don't want Shein. I want Google Sheets. Shop at Shein. All right, Sharif. I know you just. I know you just sat down.
That's fine. What do I need to do?
To settle in. You know what?
Oh,
you know what's happening.
I'm ready,
baby. I'm ready.
You know I got that on my side chart.
All right, let's do this thing, guys. We are going long today, guys. On the SPY, I kind of like this level. So if we can reject and then continue this primary trend, then we might be sitting in some good territory. But Sharif, yes, entry price
572.91.
572.91. Bang.
We're taking profits at 574.91.
Where does that put us on the daily? Above the high a day?
We're already up 1.5, 1.6, right. So this can be a big boy day.
Above the high a day there, all right. And
we'll take out everything, 571.91.
All right.
I don't know if I like that stop,
yeah,
but whatever
it's a tight stop. It's a tight stop.
Exactly.
There. Where does that put us there? 570. 190. Ooh, yeah. So just below the volume weighted average price, and it's gonna put us at the high of that second 5-minute candle, guys. Yeah. So that
at least it's above VWAP, below VWAP.
Yeah. So if we can get that elastic effect that I often refer to, then we might be sitting pretty good there. I'm gonna send it to you in one second. I want to touch something on SPY now that I realized, considering we were just talking about it. 24, there we go, 100 shares. Oops, we'll order this here. So yeah, what I just realized, guys, really nice print here on that 5-minute opening drive. Gorev, check this out. Hammer candle with that supporting volume. And then for those 5-minute opening range break traders, there you go. You get a nice move to the top side in the overall market here. And that 5-minute volume really supporting it. So that's a genuine move there, guys. You can see the effort from a volume standpoint, and then you see the result in the price action print on that 5-minute candle and the 5-minute volume signature on SPY.
Katina Man, how much would shorts on MLGO cost me, Katina Man? Because I think we're about to get the mother of all flat bottom breaks here through $9. Lower high, area high, 1073. Then another area resistance level, not area high, 975, 980, give or take, and then you have that 9 area defend. Now, I'm not going to short this above the volume weighted average price, but if it breaks below that 650, I'd like to have them to be able to really kind of just have the option, but this could lose 9. This is looking awfully ugly here on MLGO. It is stair-stepping down, and usually when it starts to do this stair-step, unless there's a big boy buyer at that $9 area to kind of bring the winds of change from the downside to the high side, we could lose $9 and it could get a little ugly. Now, if we do lose $9, what are the area supports where we could possibly pick it up? I'm not saying I'm going to be long here, but I just wanted to let you know. There does seem to be support at $8. We have this area high that took us into 8. Technically, it's not even 8. There it goes. There it goes. I kind of knew. Here we go. Let's see if it defends 9 now. Does this trap the shorts? Let's see if this is a move here by some of the longs to trap the shorts. I perceive this to be a possible flat bottom break through 9. It wasn't as vigorous as you would expect a flat bottom break to be, but let's just see if it continues to move down here. And if it does, where does it end up finding support? We're only a couple of shekels below that $9 area. There's a monster buyer buying this at $8.96, and he pushed it right back up above 9. Here we go, zigging and zagging right now. I'd like to see this just for myself. For trading these in the future. Okay, so did feel like that flat bottom break through 9 was a bit of a bamboozler, because right back above it goes. I guess we'll know if it takes out that 975 level, because that's the level we couldn't take out before. Let me show you on the black charts. It's a little clearer because of all the triangles on my charts, but this is kind of what I'm talking about there. So you kind of see this is an area high, and then you have a flat top over here at 975, 980, and then you have this $9 area that was being defended to no end, and then you get the break. Even though it was a perfunctory break, it just weaseled down super quick. The area low, 896, that's where I saw the monster buyer. But what I was saying before is we'll know this was a false breakdown, kind of to trap the shorts, if after this kind of moved below 9, we take out that 980 level that we couldn't take out before. So kind of setting it up to get all the shorts in. We'll see. We'll see. MLGO is definitely going to stay on my watch list for the remainder of the day. It is right back into 9, though, so this might not have been a bamboozler. Let's see if it loses 9 again. We know for a fact that there was a buyer of note at 896. I'd love to see how it trades at around 896 if it's able to weasel down at about 10 more pennies. 906 we see here on the ask. Let's see if we lose 9 again. We've lost the bid on a lot of these small cap gappers today. I'm talking about Ray, KDLY. They all broke down below VWAP. KDLY trying to regain VWAP now, but that is part and parcel of the DNA of these small cap gappers, giving back a lot of the moves. So defending 9 for now. Let's see if it ends up losing that bid there. How much were they, Katina, man?
Oh, I messaged you.
Oh, I appreciate that. I didn't even hear the thing. Oh, because I'm not plugged in. So for 1,000 shares at Real Trading, just to give you the idea, 1,000 shares on MLGO, it cost me $1.30. That's the kind of advantage you have with Real Trading. So if you're not in the United States and you're looking for a prop firm, needless to say, that should be your go-to move right there, man. $1.30 for 1,000 shares.
Especially in this economy, you need those discounts.
Absolutely. In this economy, you need those discounts. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, you need the discounts here, guys. So we're sitting in some IBIT. We do have some resistance that we need to watch out for, but you can see the volume on the lower time frames slowly start to pick up. One thing is, when I'm wrong, it's going to be south of 50. So we're just going to start small there, guys. So if 50 cracks, then we'll just get out of the trade. But we're also in some RGTI. I do like the potential bottoming signals here, guys. So that's essentially what I'm playing off here. Is this specific signal right here, is that indecision. So you can see that we are constructing higher lows, which is a positive sign for the quantum space to start recovering. So that's what I'm playing off. This specific hammer got the break of it, and now slowly climbing higher. I didn't get the best entry. What is my average there on it? Yeah, so 4 pennies from what I want it to be. So I'll have to just post up and get that fill that I specifically want. But yeah, let's see if we can recover and touch into the volume weighted average price here on RGTI and continue to hold VWAP here and go and test the highs of days on IBIT. Jameson, I feel like I heard talks about it 2 weeks ago, not 100%. I mean, I don't think Donald would ever legalize marijuana in the States. That's just my opinion, and I don't think that's on his agenda, to be honest with you. I could be totally wrong. If any administration was going to do it, I thought it would maybe be the Biden.
100%.
Right, but I don't see Donald doing that. So for the weed stocks, not too good of a look. And that craze is already gone and went here in Canada, guys. So yeah, but NVDA, what a nice day it's putting in.
What political incentive could he have?
To do so?
Yeah. Like, what's the political incentive here? It's not really championed much by his own party.
Yeah.
Not like he always follows what his party does. He can be a maverick at times, right?
For sure.
He goes against his party sometimes. But like, I just don't see what the motivation for him is, aside from trying to winning some voters on the other side of the aisle. That's really the only thing that I can see.
That's a valid.
You know what I mean?
There,
like,
right? It's just get that, like, just hit a larger like group of people into that want.
And
well, not larger, but something to add to what you have.
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah, absolutely. And he's not even running for re-election, so it would have to be to support his party in some other way. Sure. Maybe around the midterms. I don't even think that that's going to be a major thing in the midterms. It's going to be likely tariffs in the economy.
Yeah.
It's not going to be weed, at least not for now.
Far from. And
right?
didn't that bill fail in Florida as well too?
I think so. I wasn't following that,
right. So it didn't pass to legalize it. I'm pretty sure that's what they were working on, and that didn't work out either. So I just
Brian H. Taxes. Jameson, taxes.
Yeah. I mean,
you're not wrong.
Tax. But if you want to look at a blueprint, look what we got going on here north of your border, right? Yeah. We don't really like the first couple of years wasn't that good, and it wasn't smooth sailing. I know that they were selling the rights to. They had like a pool, I think it was, that they had a lottery where you could win the right to sell things. Yep. That didn't work out, and then they just opened it up more to individuals who were able to. But again, it's not doing that well.
And TX Trader, I completely hear what you're saying. Why would he care about winning voters now? He doesn't now. It doesn't make sense to do that now. I completely agree with you. This is the bamboozlement I'm talking about, bro. You get the flat bottom break and then you get the 980. They were trying to push the shorts out. This is insane here on MLGO. We couldn't break this 980 for the life of us. And then we break 9 and then we move up to 10 and now we're losing the bid again. The best trade is behind MLGO here. This is where it becomes a chop fest and takes all your money because it breaks technical levels, pops above technical levels, basically taking from both the longs and the shorts. That's what I perceive here on MLGO. The best trade is when it's directional, not when it's sideways. That's kind of how I feel. Adair, are we going to you? No?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, I got it. We're going to send it to Adair, yes.
Sharif, you were mentioning here earlier today 23andMe, and this is one that I meant to make this infographic earlier, but you reminded me, so thank you for that. This is the kind of dwindling revenue here of 23andMe for each quarter. So I want to explain they IPO'd in mid 2021, but their fiscal year actually starts mid-year. So Q1 2022 would basically be around when they IPO'd. Regardless here, there's an interesting trend of revenue spikes here in Q4, but you could really see here if we were to chart this revenue growth, it's really just a story of lower highs and lower lows for 23andMe, which again, unfortunately did file for bankruptcy protection as of I think this morning, so just keep an eye here. This is ME. You can check out this infographic and many others on X at TTV Research. Also, we're going to take a moment here to thank our friends at Worksport. Introducing a new discovery on the NASDAQ, Worksport, ticker WKSP. Worksport is a U.S.-based manufacturer, and they're rapidly expanding with growing revenues, government contracts, and innovative green energy products designed to power your life off the grid. Whether you're on the move or whether you're seeking sustainable energy solutions, Worksport has you covered. They're now trading on the NASDAQ under WKSP. So discover the future of clean energy with Worksport. Back to the Bash Brothers.
Yeah, the Bash.
I see that. All right, everybody's yelling about IMTE, so we got to cover it. I saw that it was halted to the upside. Bovin Nimit actually was telling me about it. Now Bovin bringing this to my attention. So I still didn't get the alert. And the reason I didn't get the alert is because I have it at 151. It's currently halted, I believe, at 150. It's up 177%. But look at that wick. That is a real wick. That is a 4 a.m. wick. It still hasn't taken out the 4:05 a.m. level, and it hasn't taken out the 7 a.m. level. I stand corrected. I think it did take out the 7 a.m. level. It did. I'm sorry, I was wrong. That was 149. It's halted at 150. Still below that pre-market high level, though, at 165. I'm all ears, man. I mean, I have no problem trading IMTE, but it's just got to follow the rules and the setup. So if that alert does trigger, we will definitely put it on the side chart and see what it has to offer there. I do appreciate you guys bringing that to my attention because it's hard to follow everything. Pretty Panda, China started buying IMTE. Funny how such a small... Bro, come on, man. I'm not reading that out loud. You're killing me. IMT, high a day. Yes, I see that. M Games. Wow, you can get angry at stocks. Some talent there. Did I get angry?
I don't think so.
Oh, about MLGO? Yeah, I'm just an expressive guy, brother. I'm not angry on it. I'm up on the day on it. Like, so I'm not angry at all. I don't want you to think the wrong thing there. I'm a passionate guy. What can I say?
Hold on, man. That deserves one of these here, Sharif.
What? Oh, dunking on me.
Wow, man. Come on.
There was, I went with my family to, I'm not going to say the restaurant.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You can say it.
No, I don't want to, because you're mayor. Anyway, so this guy's walking around with, what's it called, a basketball net on his back.
Oh, and
people are dunking on his, like setting up people at your table to get dunked on. I was like, has nothing to do with the theme of the restaurant. Why is a dude walking around with a basketball net on his back to dunk on random people?
So before we we had a craze of this. So my buddy who went to Laurier University, and I was in Guelph too, right? So we would go there, but we have this video that's so epic where you would put one of the little basketball nets behind someone who wasn't paying attention, and then someone would just come up and